Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Wow, that fight card was very underwhelming, I think. It wasn't terrible, but definitely one of the worst ones we've had in a little while, I would say. Um, man, what in the world? First, I'm going to give my condolences to Ukraine. I hope everything gets better. This is yikes. It's something. And I'll tell you what, Joe Biden is an absolute waste of air, space, anything. Corruption is all he is. Yeah, let me hear about all the Trump talk now. Let me hear it now. Either way, let's get back to this. Fight night started off with Carlos Hernandez versus Victor Altermino. And I thought Victor Altamino, I thought he did a little bit better than Carlos Hernandez. I thought it was a close fight. 30-27, I don't agree with. I thought it was back and forth, 2-1. Somebody was a pretty close fight. I thought Victor looked good. When he looked good, I thought he really put it together. Carlos Hernandez made the rounds closer towards the end. He didn't look good throughout the whole round. I thought Victor looked better, but there was points where Carlos was able to turn it on, and that's what the judges seen, and that's what gave it to him. And then you got Ramiz Brahmaha versus Michael Gilmore. I thought Michael Gilmore honestly had the style to do a little bit better wrestling-wise with Ramiz, but that's why I said Court McGee and Michael Gilmore are two different fighters, because Court McGee could defend those submissions and stuff like that if they came, like they had a little bit in their fight. But I called it that Ramiz was going to submit Michael Gilmore. I thought it was going to be a little bit later after Gilmore got a little bit tired, but that's not what happened. I mean, Ramiz went out, proved a point, had a point to prove, and that was it. I mean, really, that's all she wrote. And then we go to Jonathan Martinez versus Alejandro Perez. And I'll tell you what, Alejandro has looked so much different from when he lost to Song Yadong when he got knocked out. He just doesn't look like the same fighter anymore. It's weird what a nasty KO does. And he took a lot of time after that to come back. He just doesn't look the same, doesn't look as fast, doesn't look as crisp. I don't know. But Jonathan Martinez got hurt at the end of the first round. Though he was the more consistent fighter. I mean, he was staying good with his game plan, and he was able to squeak out a decision. He did good on that aspect. I don't know how it's a 30-27 for Jonathan Martinez. I thought I gave Perez the first just because it was so close, and he did hurt him at the end of the first. But it is what it is. It's not that big of a robbery. We'll talk about it in here in a second. And then you got Terence Mckinney versus Veriz Siam. I thought Veriz was going to do a little bit better in the wrestling aspect, and I don't think you can necessarily say what had happened was what could have happened if Terence naturally went in. But at the end of the day, I thought Terence was going to really be able to beat up Veriz Siam if he got a dominant position. And that's really what he did. His control was pretty crazy. From getting his legs kicked out to sweeping Veriz and then ended up submitting him with the rear naked choke, I think is pretty crazy. So congratulations to Terence Mckinney. T-Rex, you're an awesome person. I hope nothing but the best for you. Seriously, your story's pretty dang incredible. I've tweeted you before, all those things, so congratulations on the success, man, for sure. And then you got the Joseline Nunes versus Ramona Pascal. I thought Ramona in her debut really, really got beat up. I thought that first round was pretty close. And then there was a changing point, I think at the end of the at the end of the first round, where you could see the shift from it being close to complete domination for Josine Nunes. Josine Nunes. Josine Nunes, I thought, I think she overextends herself at points, but my goodness, there's no stopping her. I mean, jeez, spit all over myself. But I watched when she fought Bay Meliki, whatever her name was. She was undefeated or whatnot, and she looked ridiculous in that fight when she KO'd her. But I mean, great chin from Ramona. She's able to take a lot of punishment. What can you say? I mean, Josine Nunes was in control from at least the end of that first round, or second and third. She was complete control. That first round I thought was close, but Josine was winning. But great win for her. And then you got Ignacio Bahamendez versus Rong Su. Rong Su missed weight by quite a bit. Looked really, really bad in this fight. That first round looked real bad. He came out very aggressive in the second and the third. I didn't think he was really doing anything special against Ignacio. I thought Ignacio was in control basically from start to finish. Ignacio, man, he was throwing these jabs while switching stances. It was a thing of beauty, let me tell you. And then Rong Su, when he dove in there for a takedown and he gave up his neck, he got submitted, it was like icing on the cake. I mean, make weight. How are we missing weight? Come on, Jesus. And then you started the main card versus Armin, Petrosian versus Gregor Rodriguez. I do not think Petrosian won this fight. I don't think it's necessarily a robbery. It was a close fight, but 30-27 is actually unbelievable. You know, I did talk about how Gregory Rodriguez, after that first round, he tends to leave his chin out there because he gets a little tired. He gets a little sloppy. And that's what he did. The first round, he looked pretty good. Second round, he was getting touched a little bit. I think he got rocked like 3 or 4 times actually in that round. And then third round comes, which I thought was a pretty dominant round for Gregory Rodriguez. I thought, and then, yeah, for Gregory Rodriguez threw a head kick at Armin Petrosian and busted him wide open, hurt him, almost TKO'd him, and then kind of just coasted into the judges' scorecards or whatever. And then Armin was rewarded a split decision, 29-28, 30-27, and then 29-28 for Rodriguez. But Petrosian did not win that fight, I don't think, but it was pretty close. So, and then you got Armin Sayukin versus Joel Alvarez. You know, I thought Joel Alvarez was gonna be a little bit better with his takedown defense. I know he gets takedown quite a bit, but you're fighting somebody as you are with Armin Sayukin. You're gonna have to defend takedowns. I mean, that's what this fight is defending those takedowns. And he couldn't, and he did not at one single bit. And Sayukin kind of looked like he was laying a little bit early on, and then once he was like, okay, I'm in this position and we're going to go for it, it's exactly what he did. actually, exactly what he did. He threw an elbow, and it split Joel Alvarez nose right here. Nasty. Actually nasty. He was leaking so much blood. I'm very surprised in between the rounds they didn't stop the fight. It was so nasty. Great win for him. Very dominant win. Joel Alvarez needs to go fix his takedown defense actually like right now. You know, take some time on your nose and just defend takedowns. It was disgustingly bad. And then to the most ridiculous decision I've ever seen in my life. You got Ji Yeon Kim versus Priscilla Cocheria, the girl who eye gouged Karen Roberson, I believe her name is. There's no argument you could ever tell me that Priscilla won this fight. I mean, she literally got touched every time she moved forward. And then when she started throwing elbows at the end of the round, yeah, she was landing, but again, every single time Kim hit her, every single time Cocheria moved forward, she got hit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. How in the world are you scoring that fight for Priscilla? Like, I'm confused. Actually confused. I don't get it. And then you got Wellington Terman versus oh, that's what they should do. Let me see. Flyweight. Never mind. Either way. Wellington tournament versus Misa Circanov. Let me tell you, when Wellington tournament jumped on the back of Misha Circanov, I was like, oh, shoot, he's about to rear naked choke him. And he stayed super, super heavy on that arm, stopping Terman from doing it. And then there was a time where Terman almost got a one-armed rear naked choke, but Circanov's defense was pretty good on that aspect. And then they get out of that, and then where, what's his name? The guy who knocked him out, I can't remember, a couple fights ago. Oh, Bruno Silva. Where Bruno Silva knocked him out on the ground, it really looked like Misha Circanov was going to be able to capitalize, because the defense from Terman on the ground from taking punches is awful. Actually, freaking terrible. You know, Circanov is not that good at ground and pound. I mean, he's really not. And he destroyed him. He really, really beat him up down there. It really had his way with him. It looked like he was going to get a north-south choke. Didn't. It looked for a moment that Terman went to sleep. Obviously didn't. Second round comes, kind of the same thing. Misa Circanov beating him up, willingly going in his guard, beating him up some more. All of a sudden, Terman throws up this armbar and Misa Circanov taps immediately. Actually, immediately. It must have been so deep, like Jesus. So I can't imagine Circanov being in the UFC much longer. I mean, this guy's... They even give him a favorable matchup. And yikes. Great win, I guess, for Terman, but he still was cheating like he did against Sam Alvey. I mean, eye pokes. He got warned, 3 times in this fight? Ugh, just disgusting. Then you got the main event, Islam Makhachev versus Bobby Green. Everybody knows Bobby Green took this on 10 days' notice, fought 2 weeks ago, came in here, throwing a little bit of punches, stopped a takedown defense. Well, he stopped a couple takedown defenses. I don't know exactly how many. He stopped a couple sweeps or whatever. Islam got in deep against the cage. Bobby couldn't get the separation. And then as soon as Islam got that, he was looking for Kimuras. He was in side control. Or half guard, I mean. And then Bobby Green made the mistake of trying to turn into him. And Makhachev got on top of him. Got mount. And once he got mount, he really just, rained down punches. Maybe a little bit early because Herbdine, you got to think he's going to be in the position. You got to let Bobby at least attempt, move around a little bit. I think it was a little bit early, but... it is what it is. Bobby Green still saved the main event. I mean, could you imagine a main event with Wellington Terman and Misha Circanov? I mean, come on. Jesus, I don't know how they're a co-main event anyways. How is Armin Sayukin not the co-main event? How is Terence Mckinney not on the main card? I mean, how is Priscilla in a freaking main card? Like, there's absolutely no reason for that. Awful. But congratulations to Islam Makhachev for sure. He did exactly what he was going to do. Like Bobby Green said, I wish we would have seen a full camp. But his stock doesn't go down. He loses no momentum. He just goes on to the next. Takes a little bit of time to heal those hands because he said they were a little sore in his last fight, So can't wait to see what they do with Bobby Green next. There's a lot of fun fights out there, waiting for him. And, wow. Make sure you watch all the way to the end when you click on this video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And please hit that subscribe button. This is my new channel. Yeah, it's a long story. If you want to know, comment down below. But also comment down below and let me know who you thought won with Priscilla fight and Kim fight. How you thought Armin Sayukin looked. How you thought Joel's takedown defense was fucking awful. How you thought Terence Mckinney was. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys thought about this fight night. And as always, guys, you know what it is.